Hey folks, Bill Gallagher here for the final round of daily D&T for this week. If you're enjoying it, please consider supporting the series in the future. We're playing against JPA, which means we're probably playing against Sneak and Show. We'll be keeping this hand, and we'll try to play a little tighter than last game. Thalia, when I'm on the play, is very good, and being able to go Thalia into Recruiter for something like Palace Jailer is totally fine. Note, this Mother of Runes is going to be turning sideways in this matchup. Caracas is a great draw. Thalia resolving is pretty huge. Nice. Note, unless you know what your opponent's playing, don't make that attack. But I'm pretty darn sure our opponent is playing Sneak and Show. So I talked about curving out, but that Rashadan port is just better than anything else I can be doing. It's a concession pause? Nope. Note that somewhere way back in my mind, I do have to consider that like Ice Fang Coatl is something that my opponent could be playing. Delicious. Their draws off the top here have been, you know, A+ quality. I'm not sure what exactly our opponent is going to need to beat us. If they were playing something like a Brazen Borrower main deck, could be possible. I'm just not seeing it as of right now. So right now, the only thing that's going to beat us is like Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul, or Soul Land, Sneak Attack, Spirit Guide, or Petal. I am going to go ahead and show the Caracas. Next turn, I will cast a Recruiter. I guess it's fine to tap this. It's not like my opponent is probably double spelling anyway. And if they are running something like Ice Fang Coatl, I can take them off of casting it. I don't really think they are. So they didn't have Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul as of last turn. They couldn't have cast a Sneak Attack if that was something that was available to them. If I was willing to like effectively tap out, I could Recruiter the Guard for Walking Ballista and get a kill next turn. I don't think I'm willing to do that. It honestly might be better to just port down one of my opponent's mana sources and play this Vial. So if my opponent taps the Ancient Tomb, they will die to my board. I have to make the decision of whether or not to tap the tomb. I am going to tap the tomb. So the reason being that I can potentially like lose out to like some sneak attack type situations. If I don't, yep. Would love to see a wasteland or port here. Things get interesting if I don't get one of those. Well, that's just beautiful. My opponent has conceded the game. I still have to name a card, I think. Alright, so sideboarding will be similar or the same as last time around. I think we went Deafening Silence, Palace Jailer, War Priest, Active Authority, Council's Judgment. We took out Jitte. We took out our Swords to Plowshares. I think we trimmed a Stoneforge and the Walking Ballista. That seems about correct to me. This matchup's hard. It used to be close to a bye, 4 or 5 years ago. Now life's tricky. I'm going to be keeping this hand. We beat a Show and Tell for Omniscience, which is the best thing against us. We have a tool to help against sneak attack. We have our, effective mana accelerator. I think I need to play this Vial. Deafening Silence is much worse on turn 2 than on turn 1. Do we get to play the Show and Tell guessing game? It is Arcane Artisan. With a land, we'll beat that. No land. Well, that is less good for me. We're probably going to a game 3. Okay, if opponent doesn't hit a soul land here, then I'm going to get to stop their shenanigans. Soul land or land plus Lotus Petal. We still have Simian Spirit Guide to be aware of. Do I need a threat to just close out this game? I might. Super awkward if I get Pyroclasm, though. So there was some thought to not actually putting in this Revoker until my opponent's upkeep to play around in a Braid, But if I wait until their upkeep and they don't fetch, it's so beyond awkward for me. Because I can't put the Revoker in otherwise, or I can't tap the Vial, otherwise they just respond with a fetch, and then they get me. Alright, we end up back at a similar spot to where we were at last turn. My opponent has used a few more resources. It's a lot of mana. Let's go always no to that at this point. Flicker Wisp is a great, great, great draw. Alright. Really wish I had another land. That's not where we're at. We'll just make that Pyroclasm over there even juicier. So I could just, like, Palace Jailer, take the Artisan off the table, attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and have my opponent dead in 2 turns. I actually like that quite a bit. So I was thinking about the Thalia pre-combat, but waiting means that I can play around a Kozilek's return a little bit better. Kozilek's return is a lot for 1 right now. Alright, so we lost to the worst show and tell, sneak attack, whatever player, and we beat JPA. Alright, thoughts on the list. I really missed having Path to Exile in here. You know, I probably would have boarded it in for all 5 of the matches that I played. I think Damping Sphere is an unplayable card. I say that every time that I play a league with it. The Karns weren't particularly impressive, but I wasn't necessarily sad to have them. I conceptually like some of the things that this list is doing. If I was going to play a similar list again. I would probably cut Damping Sphere and War Priest of Thune for 2 Path to Exile. And I'd be pretty comfortable with that. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Daily D&T will be back to its normally scheduled content now that I'm A-okay with recording again, and I'm not 100% snotty and gross, just a little bit snotty and gross. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again next week.